Hi everyone, it's Miriam from Pain Outside the Box. I hope you're having a good December. Please stay calm this December. I know it's Christmas and things might get a little bit rushed and you might have a lot of things in your mind, or maybe you don't even like Christmas and you're starting to dread certain things. Just keep cool and remember perhaps not to have any expectations and see how it all turns out. Over here it's very chilly, but otherwise it's all good. And today I just planned to create this short video on a very specific subject because I've been noticing a growing number of people who are influenced by this theme, and I just wanted to get it out there and explain it a little bit better. So the topic is our need for control. I've already posted something about it earlier this week in the group, but I felt that I could explain it even better because it's so relevant also to chronic pain. So, our need for control. So basically we know that in this modern world of ours, there are really a lot of things that we can control, right? We can control the temperature in the room, we can take protective measures, we can control a virus to a certain extent anyway. We can pre-program our washing machine, okay? We can plan ahead. So there are a lot of things that are kind of within our control, and they're good things, and the world would be a really crazy place if we couldn't control certain things, obviously. But the problem is that all of these things that we tend to control in our lives, they do also create what I call the illusion of complete control. So some people develop the illusion that if they stick to their protocols, if they do this and that, then everything will be all right. Now we know that sometimes things happen out of the blue. Stressful events happen, traumatic events happen, and from experience, I realized that the unforeseen events that sometimes tend to happen can affect those people with a strong need for control much more than those people who are more relaxed and who approach life with a more relaxed and open attitude. And why is this relevant for our chronic pain? So first of all, our need for control is extremely linked to anxiety, right? So the more you feel like you need to control your situation, okay, whether it's making sure that you've completed all the things on your to-do list, okay, whether it's making sure that you've planned that holiday exactly right. So the more of a perfectionist, let's say, you are with these things, the more likely you are to suffer from anxiety, because you are more and more fearful that something might happen. And if there is a hint or a suggestion that this unforeseen something might happen, you are going to be more reactive because you've been trying to avoid it, you've been trying to exert control, and something inside you just cannot accept that things are not going your way. So even if you don't have chronic pain, a strong need for control will make you more likely to be anxious, irritable, or easily upset, okay? And even depressed in some cases. Now, when you have chronic pain, we're adding another element into the mix, because the problem is, once you get pain, you're also going to try and control your pain as well, right? And most of us start off with painkillers, for example. So for some of us, these might work, and we get relief, so we feel like, okay, I can control this pain, everything's okay. But maybe if the painkillers don't work, maybe if you've been trying different things and you're not getting the desired results, that's going to make you even more angry, frustrated, and scared, right? Because there's something which you feel helpless about, which is exactly what you're trying to avoid, okay? And the thing is, pain happens in your body. You can't totally run away from it, right? So what happens to people is that they try to control their chronic pain in various ways, and some people actually stumble upon the TMS approach as well. And yet again, however, although they are learning the right kind of knowledge, the right kind of tools, the way they approach their TMS pain is still from a stance of trying to control the pain, trying to fight it, trying to get rid of it. Now, I want to emphasize that the end goal obviously is always to get rid of pain. I mean, who wants to be in pain, right? So that's always the end goal. But there's always a different way how to approach what we call the process, right? So let's say you are in chronic pain today, okay? In this moment, you've got pain. If you're going to start thinking along the lines of, oh my God, this is happening again, I need to do something about it, I need to meditate, I need to do somatic checking, I need to read a book so it can maybe go away, this attitude is coming from your control freak mode, let's say. So what you're doing is you're trying to do stuff, techniques, things to control your pain. So what's the other option? So the other option is to tackle the pain, but be aware that this is just a process, right? So basically, you would learn about TMS and be interested. You would meditate, for example, or you would do a relaxing activity, not to get rid of the pain directly now, but knowing that all of this will help to eventually get you to the end goal. Eventually, you don't know when, you can't control when. So this is very important, to let go of your need to know when and exactly how the pain is going to go away. Which is why people with a strong sense, a strong need of control, tend to struggle more, because they have expectations, okay, they have certain standards, and they say like, okay, if I do this, I should have this result by this time. And unfortunately, it's not how it works, because being pain-free is never a direct effect of what you're doing. It's always a side effect. So it's a side effect to your change in attitude. So if your attitude is one of trying to fight the pain and control the pain, that's an attitude of stress. I mean, you will feel, you will know if you're having the wrong attitude by the way you feel. So if you feel that you're desperately trying to fight the pain, if you're meditating but deep down you feel like, oh, I'm doing this to get rid of this pain, to get rid of this sensation, I hate this. It could be the best meditation ever, or it could be the most insightful TMS book or program ever. But if you're doing it from the stance of, yes, I'm doing this to fight this, if it feels stressful, you're not doing it right. So the idea is to, as I said, approach the process as a process, because that's what it is, with an open mind, knowing that what you're doing is still beneficial, right? Knowing that setbacks are part of the process. Without setbacks, you wouldn't be able to practice different ways of reacting to the pain, different ways of feeling, and different ways of thinking. Without negative events or negative emotions, you wouldn't be able to practice changing your emotions around. You wouldn't be able to practice changing those negative thoughts into more neutral, positive ones. So you do need the setbacks, you do need the challenges, otherwise there's nothing to learn, right? And finally, one comparison I really like to make with TMS chronic pain healing, to help you let go of this need of complete control, is to compare being pain-free to the situation when you have a friend, maybe she's living abroad, and you know this friend writes to you occasionally, but not very frequently maybe, but you know that eventually you'll hear from her. So, but you also know that she tends not to reply immediately to your messages, this friend. So basically what you normally do would be you send out an email or a letter, and you know deep down that she's going to get back to you, she's going to call you, you're going to hear from her. But you don't know when, you have no expectations of when, you just know it's going to happen. And this is exactly the attitude that I would like people to have towards TMS healing, okay? You know you've taken action, just like you've written to your friend. You've taken action by learning all the knowledge, all the tools, okay? You know you've initiated the process, but you don't know exactly when you will be pain-free. You just know eventually you will get there, all right? So it's all about cultivating this attitude of outcome independence and, learning to let go of your need for control somehow. And this also applies to other areas of life, okay? Not just chronic pain, because the more you feel that you need to control the world around you, okay, the more likely you are to be disappointed, stressed, anxious, and obviously then the more likely you are to experience TMS pain. So I just encourage you to think about this. If you find yourself feeling stressed, wanting to change something, just take a step back. Notice a bit your emotions, that fight in you, that crunching, suffocating feeling of I don't want this, I want to change this. Feel that feeling for a little while. Observe it for a little while. And then ask yourself, maybe so what? What if I don't solve this? What if I just let go for today? What if I take a week off from thinking about this, whatever it is, whatever problem it is? It's just to release your resistance a little bit, okay? To just release yourself from this fight attitude, because we know that the fight attitude is part of the stress response, right? So that's my suggestion for today. If you're fighting too much, if you're finding yourself trying to control your pain or any other life situation too much, pretend you're going to give up for this week, maybe for this month. It's Christmas time after all. Focus on something else that you like, on something relaxing maybe, and practice letting go after acknowledging your feelings. You will be amazed at the sense of freedom you will feel once you get to this point. Even if the original situation is still not solved, there's a sense of freedom that comes from letting go of all that self-imposed pressure and expectations. That's all from me for today. I wish you all a good week. Bye-bye.